Hello and welcome to another video of Dead by Daylight, and right before we get into the video, I want to ask if you could add anyone, and I mean anyone, into Dead by Daylight, who would it be? I think Darth Vader would be cool, and maybe we just might have him someday, because as we all know, Dead by Daylight has clearly been straying further from horror, but this has been going on for quite some time, which just makes sense and is oddly thematic for what is considered the Smash Brothers of horror, this sort of hall of fame with all our favorite spooky baddies. Nearly every horror franchise ever derails and starts to get a little wacky. Jason in space, Chucky having a kid, Myers having a kid, Freddy becomes a gamer. When properties just exist for as long as they have, they need to evolve or people will just get sick of it. Of course, Behavior knows this, and they've been pushing the boundaries slowly to see what will take. At the end of the day, money is what talks the most after all. If the hash-slinging slasher just sells more than Pinhead, well, that's just where they're going to go. The first update I remember that really started inching towards non-horror elements was definitely the clown update, which was only about a month after I started playing. For those that don't know, while the clown himself was a silly little goober himself, not watching his weight in the slightest, sounding like he could roll over and die at any moment, the bigger thing that came with it was the cosmetic packs. There was nothing too insane yet, except for maybe Mr. Puddles, but at the same time, that is something Clown would realistically wear to birthday parties. There were also other outfits, like Meg's fortune-telling outfit, which I wouldn't say is particularly horror, not really out of the realm of anything. You could definitely see a fortune teller character within a horror film, so it wasn't really turning any heads. The cosmetics would just get a little wackier. We eventually get to the point of seeing pajamas, hooked on you cosmetics, Dead by Daylight's own dating game, and this crazy stuff that was actually just very recently added. Well, that and some of the other minor collabs, stuff such as Attack on Titans, Slipknot, Iron Maiden, stuff that just doesn't quite fit within the realm of horror, but still kinda does. Behavior has been going on this balancing act for a little while now, trying more and more. Horror is a bit of a niche that Behavior is getting closer and closer to the end of. They have obtained so many of these huge titans within the horror industry. I mean, the only classic horror giant they don't have is Jason Voorhees. There are a few others, such as the Predator or Pennywise, but every year the list gets shorter. Behavior is obviously seeing this and are thinking, well, we enjoy making money, so we can continue existing. Licensing content is obviously what brings in the most attention. DBD's top 5 tweets on Twitter all have to do with licenses. On top of that, DBD's top 9 chapters are all licenses. This is just the stuff that sells the best, so it makes sense that Behavior wants to keep going bigger. But in terms of bigger, well, there's not much higher than the previously mentioned Jason, and I suppose Pennywise, that they haven't already acquired. As more people are entering the scene, it just makes further sense to grab more licenses that people are going to instantly be able to recognize, so they can say, wow, I can be Lara Croft getting chased by Michael Myers. That's a pretty cool sell. Someday it might be something absurd like Light Yagami getting chased by Goku. All right, maybe not that far, but that would be quite the laugh. Nicolas Cage might be the oddest choice of them all. Of course, he's been in horror movies before, but that's definitely not what the big man is known for. His character in particular is really telling that Behavior will grab any fruit that they can get their hands on, and I only mean that thematically. Nicolas Cage is a beautiful man. DBD is very lucky to have him. It's just in terms of what this game used to be, but man, it hasn't been that horror experience in a very long time. I wouldn't personally say that Clown was the final nail in the coffin or anything close to that, but it's definitely when the coasters start to go in a different direction. Normally, I would raise the question, well, maybe it still is horror, just not to us. Those of us who've been playing this game for ages, it's just really hard to debate that when we see stuff like this in the game. This is very clearly not horror. Despite this, I would like to know, those who have just entered the realm of the fog with us, do you find the game scary? Or is it more like a roller coaster? Please let me know. I'm super curious. When I first started playing Dead by Daylight, I was absolutely mortified by the Huntress. Something about the lullaby really scared me. I would always tense up when loading into the match and then hear it creeping its way towards me. The first time I heard the nurse's screeches are most certainly a memory I'll never forget. Had me questioning just what sort of monstrosity I was about to see, my imagination going wild. Now, the real horror is the essays that are some of these killers' powers, needing a whole book just to understand them, only for them to get changed a month later. And then again, is it really a bad thing that the game is straying towards a different direction, though? As someone who's been with the game since 2018, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I can't help but feel a little sad about it. I don't think it's for the reason that the game is going this different direction, bit by bit. I think it's just that the game is straying further from the game that I initially latched onto and really grew to love. So many of the maps that I used to know are completely different. So many of the killers are gone, replaced by imitators. Perks that used to work one way, well, some of them aren't even just perks anymore. A lot of these changes were absolutely better for the game. I love the new Haddonfield. It captures the feeling of the film much better than the old. But there is a bit of me that misses the old Husk. I remember being so excited the first time I booted up on it as Michael Myers. I got all 4 survivors and was so proud of myself, feeling I had done the character proud, and now I'll just never see that map again. This is not an invitation to bring back the old Haddonfield behavior. Please don't do that. It's just a small part of me that I guess wants to go back, a nostalgic sort of self. It's like going to your old home neighborhood after 10 years and things are just different. Your old friends, they're still them, but they've changed or aren't even there at all. Some houses are different, but have had some different things done to them. A new tree here, a cut tree there. And just what is going to get changed next? Well, definitely what characters we start seeing. I don't think behavior will completely step away from horror. I'm sure they'll still bring in characters like the occasional Carrie or Art, but with characters like Laura and Nick being added, we're definitely going to start seeing characters that behavior still feels fits within the game without stepping away tonally. But then also sometimes they step away tonally. I could easily see a character like Scarecrow from the DC Comics being added. But what do you guys think? Do you like the direction DBD is going in? Would you prefer it to stay rooted in horror, or do you not mind at all? Do you want them to go as crazy as they are willing to go? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, stay safe in the fog, friends.